What's up, Ramley? You are now in the kitchen with Chef Nixon for all your fixings for the latest and greatest of VCU men's basketball. So, VCU took on Memphis last night in the stew. How'd it go? Let's get into it. All right. So, Memphis. They entered this game with a record of 5-2. And they're coming off a disappointing but competitive loss to a good, maybe great Ole Miss team, which was 5-0 at the time. Now they're 6-0. Memphis is coached by NBA legend Penny Hardaway, and I think Penny Hardaway did a really good job this year, really getting experience. Because if you look at Memphis back in the past, they usually have a lot of highly touted freshmen coming out of high school. And for whatever reason, that wasn't working for Penny. So this year, he took a little different approach. And the transfer portal, he ended up getting 5 long, athletic seniors, guys with a ton of experience to lead the way for him. They're led by David Jones. Funny. He's a 6'6" scoring guard, lefty. Can score in many ways. Can get downhill. He can pull up for jumpers. Can shoot a three. He's really a 3-level scorer. He's averaging 19 points and 5 rebounds per game. And Memphis came into the game really hungry. They want to get back into that win column. But the same could be said for VCU. VCU comes into this game with a record of 4-4. Struggling to find a true identity, struggling to find a reliable style, struggling to basically find consistency. If you look at some of the VCU games, they'll have great games when they play Radford and really dominant. They'll have great games when they play Penn State, really dominant. And then they'll have these letdown games, one in which they got away in Seattle, which was an ugly game. And then, like the Norfolk State game, really ugly game. And, Coach will receive some type of criticism, I believe. And I don't think people are truly upset with the L's, and the wins and the L's. It's just how VCU looks when they take these L's. You know what I mean? If they look better, I think people wouldn't mind an L because sometimes you're playing. Put it this way. Nobody's going to be happy with a Norfolk State loss. Nobody's going to be happy with a McNeese loss, right? Even the Iowa State game, we looked good. We just lost it at the end. Frustrating nonetheless. The Boise State was an okay loss, but it's another game you feel like you should have won. The issue is VCU has these moments where they look great. They're like, oh, here they come. And then they had these moments where they just look all out of sorts. So they're trying to find some consistency. But tonight, which VCU would we get? And that was the biggest thing for me. So starting off the game, I thought we did a really, really, really good job. Played extremely hard out the gate. Really took it to Memphis. We actually were the first to punch instead of being trying to be a counter puncher. And we end up punching them in the mouth. And I don't know what it is. But Fats, we need this every game. You know what I mean? When Fats could come off the bench and give us the energy and the scoring that he did last night, we have, especially once we get Sean back, it's like new life, right? You know what I mean? The aggression, the energy that he brings. I'm not just with the scoring, because especially when we're in the stew, he's a Richmond star. So when he scores, it really ups the ante of the crowd. So Fats, we need that more consistently. You get the opportunity, and I think you're coming along. Make it more consistent, bro. because you're looking good. Uh, and I will say this: Memphis didn't lay down. They didn't take anything lightly. They came in, they played hard. Um, and you in all 5 games. I don't know if people knew this. All 5 games here at the Siegel Stewart Center, VCU has went into the half down. That didn't happen this past. That didn't happen last night. We actually played one hell of a half of basketball. At first, I thought Max. I thought Max. It took Max a while to really adjust to the athleticism and the physicality of Memphis. I thought they gave him a little bit of trouble initially, um, but then he adjusted. He was able to make some plays, get into the cup. Um, I thought Zeb played pretty decent, but Toby the Wall. It's kind of funny when you think about Toby because I see Toby work on so many things, right? But what really makes him stand out is what his God-given ability, which is a motor and athleticism. And with this game, and I hate to say this because it's something that we all know. Is we can see how each person on this team can truly impact this team and make this team great. But we have to find some type of cohesiveness to bring it all together and consistency. But Toby Lawal, of course, another energy guy, another guy that rebounds very well and can give you points without even touching the ball. He doesn't need the ball to score. So that's always a plus. I thought Memphis was very I thought they were very I don't want to say I don't want to say arrogant, but and I guess sometimes when you think about it, when you think about it, you just want to play your style of basketball. Maybe Memphis' style of basketball is man to man. You know what I mean? I don't think there's too many times where I can remember VCU going away from man to man or pressing. You know what I mean? When back in the Havoc days. Um, so maybe that was it. But if I'm Penny Hardaway and I watch film on VCU, I'm not going to play man to man. I'm going to run a zone, matchup zone, or a long 2-3, 3-2 zone or something like that. You know what I mean? Simply for the fact that we just struggle to score out of that. However, they went man to man, and this made the game really interesting. You know what I mean? So we went into the half. We went into the half 36-32, and I really think that I really think that was a good thing. I thought that I thought we would come out, kind of how we usually do. But I was wrong again. VCU came out strong. They played very well. Like this game was a really, really good game. Um, we had different guys step up, make plays in different moments. Um, I thought that I thought that I thought that we did okay from 3 point line. We shot 7 for 29 from 3 point line. A lot of threes. I wish we could connect on a little bit more because we started out pretty good, but then we kind of fell off towards the second half. But our defense really didn't fall off. I thought that we competed all night. And usually we have this lag. If the offense isn't working well, we have a lag in our defense, and the defense doesn't start working as good as possible. But that wasn't the case. I thought we competed for 40 minutes to last night. Um, and if you look at these stats, seriously, if you look at these stats, there's not too many differences. I mean, look, check this out. 3 point percentage, they shot 38, but they shot less threes. They were 8 for 21. We were 7 for 29. Free throws, they were 23 for 29. We were 15 for 21. Rebounds, 35 for them, 31 for us. We had 15 to their 11 offensive rebounds. When it came to steals, they had 7. We had 8. We balanced out with 2 blocks. Turnovers, check this out, because we haven't seen this much this year. Turnovers, we forced them into 18 turnovers, and we only turned the ball over 10. If you go back and look, at our previous games, even some of the games we won, we lost that turnover battle. In tonight's game, we won. Points in the paint. Now you know how this is for me. Y'all know 40. You know how it is for me. 36 for Memphis, 40 for VCU. So now wait. Now we're gonna pause right here. If we can do that against Memphis, we can do it against anybody else. So if I came off aggressive, it's because I know we can do better. Don't take it personal. Don't get upset. Understand that these guys tell on themselves all the time. Penn State, they showed us they can play consistent, good basketball for 40 minutes. So when you don't do it, there's reason to be upset. You know what I mean? That's like you see an advertisement. You see an advertisement, like Stickum or what's that stuff called? The little rubber glue stuff. Anyway, you go get that, you bring it to your house, you use it on something, and the glue just keeps falling off. But you see on the commercial that it works. So that's what I'm saying. Like, y'all, VCU, the guys have told on themselves now. They completely told on themselves. When they play higher competition, they can raise their level to that competition's level. So which means they have a higher ceiling than we think. So when y'all don't play to your best ability, it's okay for people to comment on it because we know that you can do better. There's no way you're going to sit here and tell me that Norfolk State has more talent, size, athleticism than Memphis. There's no way. More shooting. There's no way. So it comes down to really playing your style of basketball, being completely engaged. The stats don't lie. Anyway, second chance points. 12 for Memphis, 18 for VCU. Points off turnovers. 11 for Memphis, 12 for VCU. So we played really good this game. Second half going, I thought it was very competitive. I thought we played overall a good brand of basketball. I can't really point to one thing, as you can tell by the stats. It's not just one thing that you can really point to um, that really impacted either side greatly, or one team dominated. It was really a back and forth game. Two things I thought really hurt VCU down the stretch. Um, One is the stretch where Toby Lawal picked up 3 fouls in like 3 minutes. Uh, two of the fouls I thought were kind of, why are you calling that? One of which I didn't think was a foul at all. The other one was kind of ticky tack, and then the third one was a foul. I get it. But what I felt that did was it really impacted the game because Memphis had no answer for Toby. They had no answer. These guys, once you get to a certain level, and you can see it in NBA basketball, so you kind of see it in like the Power 5 schools. A lot of these schools, the bigs, they kind of get away from like boxing out and the fundamentals of the game because they're so athletic. They just go get the ball. But they ain't met Toby Wan Kenobi yet. They haven't met Skywalker. So Toby would crash the board so hard, and then it became a jumping match. And they thought maybe they didn't know, maybe they just thought it was a fugazi. I'm not really sure, but Toby was truly cleaning up so much of our possessions, our offensive possessions. Whether there was a bad shot or maybe the shot clock was running down, we couldn't get any offense going. Whether somebody we had a good offense, we just missed a layup. Toby was there to clean up a lot of stuff, whether that just be kicking it out or cleaning it up and putting it back. Being in the right place at the right time for the dish and finishing it off that way. Toby played a big role in our offensive success this game. So when he picked up those 3 fouls, or he picked up 2 fouls and that took him out of the game, and then when he got back in, picked up that last one, which I thought was fugazi as hell. Like it looked like a clean block to me. They called the goaltend. It looked like a good block, and then the next one, Toby found himself out of position, and then he goes and blocks it from behind. Now, the dude probably could have got the rebound and put it back, or maybe he would have missed it, or maybe we'd have gathered. You never know what would have happened after that. However, I just think that calling that foul was just BS, and you kind of killed the momentum for us. Like, there's no doubt in my mind if Toby was in that game, we win that game. There's no doubt in my mind. But that right there is a moment that really kind of took the steam out, and then how should I say this? There's going to be moments in games, right? Especially games that you're not favored. And the only thing I can really compare this to is like NBA basketball. I mean, you can compare it to college too, but NBA basketball in particular. Um, NBA basketball in particular is I always feel as if I always feel as if you have to win the games you're supposed to win, and in college it's more so you have to make the play you're supposed to make. And granted, there are some other things that we could have done to win this game. However, Zeb got a pretty good look at the layup, and this is not blaming the game on Zeb by any chance, any means, because we still had 5 minutes to play. The game's tied. We run the play, and this is one of the times I really agree with the play call. That's say I don't agree with a lot of them, but I thought this was a good draw. Zeb going to the rim, has the right hand layup, and just I don't know if it slips out of his hand or what, but he overshoots it, missed the layup. We go into overtime, and with us not having Toby because of him fouling out, we needed to make that play. I knew going into overtime it was going to be hard for us to pull it out because, like I said, Toby was such a big impact on the offense in this game just because he was the release point. He was the second chance point guy. So that's a lot for us. That's a lot for us. I feel as if Toby, and if we can get Wheeler and we can get Furman, like if we can get them to be in that release spot and finish with aggression and more, I think that would help us out a lot. So when we get in the paint, we don't have to hesitate about passing it. We know for sure we can pass it, boom, go up and dunk it, right? It doesn't have to be completely wide open for us to be successful. And that's the thing with Toby. It doesn't have to be completely wide open for Toby because his spring and his athleticism and his overall skill. However, you got to make that play. It's something we know about momentum. And Memphis knew that they should have lost that game in that play. So they had new life going into overtime. And even overtime, I thought we played pretty decent. We didn't make enough plays, unfortunately. But I will say this. I will say this. One thing I don't like, and this is not me criticizing. I'm just saying that what I don't like. Uh, I don't like plays at the end of the game that are complete isolation plays with no other options, right? Um, and I'm not sure. We ran some action, but we always run action, but it always leads to someone being at the top of the key. And it's like an ISO situation. I'm not sure if that's how it's supposed to go, or if we're just not doing a good job of screening. Um, to have that offset, to have the defense moving, to have to take an advantage, to get into the paint, to create. I don't know what the issue is, but I really don't like those plays, especially in clutch moments. You know what I mean? Um, because it got to the point where it's like, here, Max, take us home. No, why? What I would prefer, what I would prefer is maybe we run an elevator screenplay with some counter action. Run the elevator screenplay. Max run through Furman and Bell. They close the door at the top of the key for a shot. Or maybe we do a triple screen for Max coming off and have a misdirection for Fats coming the other way, who was playing out of his mind last night. Have Zeb at the top. So if anything, if all else fails and we don't execute the play, that's three different options. You got Max coming off to the left side to turn and shoot, and you got another stagger screen for or got another pin down screen for Fats on the other side. And if all else fails, we got the same thing we got, which is one of our best players at the top of the key with an ISO opportunity. So I would have preferred to see something with a little bit more options, so it just doesn't turn into us standing and watching somebody try to make something out of nothing. With all that being said, VCU ends up falling to to Memphis. Um, I thought they played extremely well. Um, it was one of these games where they completely they played balls out. They excuse my language. I don't know why that's a term or what that even means, but it didn't sound right coming off. But they gave it their all. They gave it their all, and you can tell that they were disappointed. But as a fan watching, as somebody critiquing, I I can't be mad at this one. I can't be mad at this one. They played like and this is what I'm talking about in regards to. I'm not. I don't get frustrated. I don't get mad at losses. Losses happen, but it's how you lose. You know what I mean? If you don't leave it all out there, then I'm like, dog, you know what I mean? But when you play like that and you compete like that for 40 minutes, there's nothing I can say. You win some, you lose some. I thought we played extremely well from top to bottom. I thought everybody contributed. But here we go. Memphis, David Jones, 23 points, 8 rebounds. I mean, the kid's good. The kid's good. He's a strong guard. He was going to find a way to score because he was going to get things up. Uh, Javon Quinterly, uh, point guard, transfer from Alabama to play here. Very skilled, 20 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Got away with a hook at the end of the game. They got a picture of it on X Files. The referee standing right there. Now it could be hard for the referee to see at that angle, but come on, dog. You end up making the call and it was the wrong call. And we just had plays like that just not go in our favor. You know what I mean? That was a lot. That happened a lot. And I'm not. I don't want to say the refs were cheating because I can understand in the moment it could. I would be like, why ain't you calling? Why are you calling that when it's kind of like you kind of been letting them play all night? Um, So stuff like that. Just we just the things didn't go our way. But yeah, 20 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. Now for VCU, uh, Toby Lawal, 16 points, 8 rebounds. Um, like I said, he was the key factor to this game, and when he got hurt, it really, or when he got fouled out, it really hurt us. And it just seemed like the refs just completely took him out of the game. You know what I mean? He was having such an impact, then all of a sudden he wasn't there anymore. It's weird. Uh, but shout out to Toby. Please continue to build on this. Uh, Zeb Jackson, 11 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. I thought Zeb played pretty decent. I want Zeb to work on his shot selection at times, uh, and of course, uh, make your layups. You know what I mean? But I want him to work on his shot selection times and work on the jump stop turnaround fade going to your right. Uh, for whatever reason, Zeb, that shot you end up with that opportunity for that shot a lot. So work on it because if that's going to be the case, make that your bread and butter. Make it your bread and butter. If that's where you can always get to, have some after practice, work on that to the point where now you can get to that anytime and it's butter. And then have a counter for that and build from that. Trust me. Um, and I'd be remiss if I didn't bring up Fats. You know, I thought he played extremely well. Um, he had 13 points, 2 assists, 5 for 12, 2 for 6 from three. You know, J Nell played really good, 10 points. You know what I mean? And like our bench, look, our bench. What's that? 23. Let's see, hold on. 39 points off our bench from 3 players. That's pretty dang good. That's pretty damn good. You know what I mean? And let's see our starters. Let's see our starters. I'm gonna have our starters. 41. Talk about balanced scoring. Talk about balanced scoring. That's great. Talk about balanced scoring. This is one of those games where everybody like they showed up to play, guys. Ramley, hey, they showed up to play. It is what it is. You know, you got it. These type of losses, I'm completely fine with, and I feel like we can grow from this. And like you don't want you rather win and grow, but it's easier to grow when you got that loser fertilizer. When you got that stink of losing on you, it's easy to grow from there. It's easy to grow from there, and I think the guys will. I really do. I really do. And of course when Sean get back, you know, I said in the last part that Sean ain't drafted in '86 and he ain't gonna be coming out here with a new pair of shoes from Nike. All right. However, that doesn't mean he's not going to have an impact, and I do think he's going to have an impact on both sides of the court, and he's definitely going to impact the offense. He's going to help us in rebounding. He's going to impact our 3 point shooting. He's going to impact our decision making because it's going to give Max and Zeb some where the pressure ain't always on them. So when he gets back, which may be next game, may be the following game after that, we'll see. I know they're probably going to have him on a minute restriction, try to work himself back. But as you can see at the game, he had the Air Maxes on, looking crispy. You know, no more boot action. So you know, I can't wait till he gets back, and I can't wait to see how this team changes with that. Michael Bell probably coming off the bench, or maybe Kwani. Well, not probably not initially. They'll probably have Sean come off the bench initially to try to slowly get him back in. But if not, I imagine Kwani or Bell is going to be coming off the bench, and maybe that'd be helpful. You know what I mean? Be honest with you, it may help Kwani to get to actually get a feel for the game first. It's different. The difference between starting and the bench is some guys they don't necessarily need a feel to be successful. The other guys need a feel for the game, and then they can come in and be successful. Um, it could really, and for Kwani in particular, who's trying to find a rhythm, I think it'd be really helpful. I really do. So moving forward, Alcorn, they are 1-17. This game Sunday will not be about Alcorn. It will not be about. Listen, it will not be about Alcorn. It will be 1,000% all about us. All about us. Can we play and get better? Can we play at a high level no matter who we're playing? Can we form a culture? Can we form consistency? That's the question. That's what this Alcor game is about. We didn't look like we had that when we played Seattle. Seattle was that kind of game. Can we form a consistency game? We couldn't do it. We won, but it was yeah. Y'all go back and watch that game. That game was ugly. And not saying every game has to be pretty, but we didn't grow at that point. I think that we've grown now. So let's see. How will we act? Will we still continue to be like this, up and down, roller coaster, or will we figure it out and be who we're supposed to be? We'll find out. Until next time, never quit. Stay humble. Peace.